Hi, my name is Sanjay. I'm a coach, mentor, and a leadership trainer. This is the second video in my series, Leadership During a Crisis. If you are a leader and you're looking for answers, this series of videos will give you the answer on how you can lead your team during a crisis. It does not matter if your team is 5, 50, or 5,000. Let's look at the most important thing, the cornerstone of leadership. During a crisis, a team member would follow that leader whom the team member trusts. So the first quality that you need to display is, are you trustworthy? Are you making an effort to win the trust of your team members? Are you telling them things that they will believe? Remember, these are difficult times and you would have to take tough decisions. And therefore, integrity and display of integrity is of paramount importance. Let me give you an example of an exceptional leader. I'm sure you recognized him, Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was released from jail and he came to become the president of a country that was divided. The blacks were poor and angry. The whites were rich but distrustful of Nelson Mandela and his government. How do you lead during these troubled times? Let's look at some of the things that Nelson Mandela did. Nelson Mandela was clear that he would not replace white apartheid, the practice that was followed in South Africa that separated whites and blacks, with a form of black apartheid, which meant discrimination against the white population. Remember that the whites controlled the economy, and if he had done something that was wrong, then there could have been a flight of capital and destroyed a young fledgling nation. So Nelson Mandela said, it is not just important that I am trustworthy, but I should show and display that I am actively trying to win the trust of the entire population. He had to walk a tightrope because if he went too far, the blacks would get angry. If he didn't go too far, the whites would not trust him. So he talked about forgiveness. So let's look at some of the things that he did. The first action was that for his presidential inauguration, he invited the guards of the prison where he was in prison for 21 years. What a gesture. To say that I forgive you. He then announced that he would be president only for one term, which is very rare in Africa, where presidents for life is a norm rather than the exception. He then went on to actively reach out to the Afrikaner population, which was very distrustful and didn't like the president. He invited his predecessor to join the government as deputy president. He ensured that there was continuity in policy and also drew on the experience of a very experienced politician who was declared his predecessor as a president. He met all the past presidents' wives as a gesture of reaching out to that community. And in an unprecedented move, he decided that the word Springbok, which was an apartheid term, would continue. There was a world rugby competition that was held in South Africa, and the president used this opportunity to reach out and unite the entire country. The rugby team was hated as a symbol of apartheid, but Nelson Mandela urged and encouraged his country to actually cheer for this team and adopt this team. Lots of action were taken by him. Every time he watched a rugby match, he wore the team jersey and the team cap, as if to say, I'm one of you. Doing these actions ensured that slowly he was able to earn the trust of the entire country. And he kept talking about reconciliation and forgiveness. And this ensured that the blacks started buying into his vision of a country where blacks and whites would coexist. Some of these fault lines have not disappeared. But when Nelson Mandela talked, when Nelson Mandela proposed something, these fault lines did not exist. People looked at a proposal with an open mind because they trusted the leader. So, can you become more trustworthy? Can you actively win the trust of the people? Can you be transparent and tell people that even though you would take harsh decisions, you're doing that with an open mind and without an agenda? You would like to give everyone a fair chance. What are some of the lessons that you can learn? First, it is important for a leader to communicate and to reach out to all sections of the team. There could be people who don't like you, who don't trust you, but you're the leader. It is your responsibility to reach out. Don't promise what you cannot deliver. Under promise, over deliver. Every action would be scrutinized, and therefore it becomes important for you to be sure about what you can deliver. If you cannot deliver, go out, talk to the team and tell them the reason why you can't, why you promised and what change which ensure that you can't. Be honest with them. Any type of spin, any type of manipulative communication will backfire. This is not the time for spin or negative communication. This is the time for honest, transparent communication. You will not earn trust in a day, but slowly your team will start feeling that they can start trusting you. Any commitment that you make, be sure to ensure the commitment is met. Be careful in the words you use and in the actions that you do, so that the team is sure that everything you do is honest, transparent, and that you could be trusted. So let's begin this journey of leadership during a crisis. Follow me on this journey. Let's talk of an exceptional leader in my third video to help you understand how do you lead during a crisis.